entertainment.
But those people take it seriously.
JR made comments in his reports. I don't think he liked it.
How about Jim Ross, that poor guy, and Vince even bashed him. If they were looking for football announcers, why didn't he hire him? I mean, he's so correct after the fact, right?
Well,
I just saw something that was written on the internet and browbeating Jim Ross. Like, what?
Yeah,
that poor guy.
He needed a scapegoat. He needed someone to bring it on.
That's why. That's why I'm saying it's the perfect segue to dump the XFL, and then he's got wrestling. He's got more on his plate. That's what I think he'd do.
That's what he should do. That's what he should do.
Yeah, of course.
I cannot see a second season.
No. Right?
There's no point. They're not going to be on it. There's no point, and it's a great way to get out and just say, look, I've got so much on my plate. And you know what? And he does.
Yep.
It's not like if he tries to run all three companies. I mean, why would he want to torture himself like that? He's got all that money.
He's killing his own child.
I know he says he loves work, but comes a point where when you never sleep and all you do is work, even if you like your work, it's not really. It stops being fun.
Dave, did you listen to the entire interview that he did on WFAN yesterday?
I didn't listen to the entire interview. I listened to segments of it. I listened to the Mushnick thing, which was...
Right. Yeah. Because if you listen to that, they're definitely going to be back. And he said, with or without...
I know he was talking like they were definitely going to be back. They're having expansion meetings now.
With or without NBC.
Yeah, but what if Vince had his fingers crossed? That works in his world. It's like Elizabeth and Macho Man. No, they're not. They're characters. What? It's a human cartoon, so he's got different set of rules. You know?
Well, the thing is, though, is that everything that he's going to do, I mean, he can't go in there and say, we're debating shutting it down after the season. I mean, it's like any company. To the bitter end, you say that everything's great.
That's right.
Look, wrestlers haven't been told in WCW, this thing's over. No one's been called.
I got one storyline for this new merger.
What is it?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tom just mentioned Macho Man and Elizabeth. And you guys have always said that everything that happens has happened in the past. So I'd like to see, it's a reenactment partially of one of my favorite storylines growing up, and that was with Ric Flair and the Macho Man. Ric Flair comes out, and we find out that he had an affair with Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. This starts the feud with Triple H.
That's great.
Yeah, Hunter's going to go for that.
But then we find out...
He might, though. He might for Rick. Rick is his hero. You got to remember, childhood heroes mean something.
Yep.
But we then find out he also, years ago, had one with Linda.
This is
and then we take it a step further, and we find out that Shane is really Ric Flair's son and not Vince's son.
How
so
about
you've got all these built-in
Stephanie
feuds.
Flair's daughter?
Oh.
Flair's daughter,
that
there you go.
was Russo's idea, right?
Oh.
That's right, because they went at it.
Stacey Keebler was going to be Flair's daughter, yeah.
I like it.
That was Russo's idea.
Was it?
Yeah, Stacey Keebler. When the reason that the whole thing was that Rick would end up being Rick was going to end up being Stacey's father. God, I'm losing my mind. Because of an affair that he had in Baltimore, because Stacey really was from Baltimore, and Rick, was a big partier in Baltimore way back 21 years ago.
Yes.
And then the idea was that that Russo would have been the father of Stacey's baby.
How about just two guys that want the heavyweight title?
That's so passé, though.
Yeah, they need a little sickness for WWE. That Twisted, you had it the first time. Yeah, they need that sickness in there. I think.
Okay, let's run to Hector. Hector, what's up?
Hector.
Hello.
Hector's not.
Man, Vince and Shane in WrestleMania while they're fighting each other.
We missed the first half.
Huh?
We missed what you said.
Start over.
Oh, no. What do you think of Rick and David Flair laughing at Vince and Shane while they're fighting each other in WrestleMania, just sitting...
David Flair? I don't think much of David Flair.
Huh?
I don't think much of David Flair. I don't think they'll do anything with David Flair.
Like the McMahon versus the Flairs at one point.
And then they can do that. They can do Vince versus David.
No, what about McMahon?
Vince doesn't need to get in the ring with David Flair. At least not for a couple of years.
No, you don't want to kill the business.
What about Flair going around recruiting people that they could do before they start WCW?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they really need to have Flair have a major role.
I got a question for Sink. Are you thinking of going to the gimmick Battle Royal? WrestleMania?
I wonder if, I don't think that he's going to be high on their list of invitees for some reason.
Never.
They could have the Red Rooster now. And
they could get the Red Rooster.
They
really could.
Have Shock, or I guess they got who they got. They got Shockmaster.
They got Shockmaster, but they got him as a Typhoon.
And kids performing in the intermission or something.
It's like the past is the past. I can put it aside, but I don't think there's probably hard feelings, and, that's too bad.
They could have bad WCW gimmicks in there now as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, there's so many of those now. That's right, they own the rights to all those bad gimmicks, huh? They can have Kevin Nash come in as Oz.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really have some fun. Brian, you're a sick man.
Do you think Paulie's going to make Mike Awesome do a whole mess of jobs now to the ECW guys?
What?
Paulie will make Mike Awesome do jobs to the ECW guys.
No. I don't think that anything like that'll happen.
Yeah, and my last thing, did you check out the picture they send you of the Vince McMahon and Trish?
The banana picture? I saw the banana picture. It was hilarious.
Thank you.
Adios, Hector.
I gotta, what do I gotta do? I gotta email that to somebody. Maybe they won't laugh. I don't know.
That's pretty good stuff now.
Hey, email that to me.
Okay, email to alg@yada.com. Yeah, the banana picture of Vince and Trish.
I saw one of Bischoff and supposedly DDP's wife.
Oh, God.
So I'm like, yeah.
Kayfabe.
Oh, sorry.
Is Dennis up next? Okay, Dennis, what's up?
Yeah, I'd like to find out what your opinion is of, on the WCW, they just have too many guys that Vince can use. Now, what guys do you think will not make the cut?
Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett?
Scott
Steiner, Rick Steiner, Lex Luger, Buff Bagwell.
Brian Pillman, Tom Zink. Rick Rude, Ultimate Warrior. Who else?
Hogan. Scott Hall, maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, but it's really not up. You really
Maybe
can't
they'll charge
say right now.
Jarrett $180,000 to come back.
Yeah. Very good.
That's like that's a good one.
And put the woman over again.
There'll be no Craig Leathers, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, my.
Well, what do you think about the cruiserweight? Are they going to have a cruiserweight division?
They could care less now.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm.
I would guess.
As far as, they got so many guys there, but it's going to be tough because you're going against, you got to remember that the guy who owns it, that is not his mentality. And, other guys may suggest it, but ultimately, the big decisions are going to be made by Vince.
Yeah.
And obviously cruiserweights are not, in his game plan. And Shane grew up, with Vince McMahon's wrestling. It's, if Shane had grown up and watched another form of wrestling and just said, hey, I'm going to do, again, nothing's for sure. They're going to make their own decisions.
A guy that's open to new ideas.
Yeah.
What?
What do you think about Dusty Rhodes and Dustin? They come back with 2 black valets each. That'd be good.
Yeah,
but the thing is, even with Paul Heyman, who did a lot of lighter weight guys in ECW, and he does have a lot of input right now, he never had actually a cruiserweight division because he let his cruiserweights, hold the TV title and the tag team titles all the time. But it was never called cruiserweights.
Yeah.
And he mixed and matched. And, did that underdog stuff with, Spike and Guido and all that. I think, I think Guido will probably end up in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's all those guys he could work with, Shane Helms, Chavo Guerrero,
Yeah. They could book Paulie and Flair in a garbage can match. I saw that one time. Great.
What's going to happen to, whatever happened to Randy Savage?
Randy Savage is, he's trying to do a radio show. I know that.
Do a radio show, yeah.
He's combing the furs out of his hair.
Yeah.
I think that Randy Savage, but Randy Savage wasn't even working when there were 2 companies, so there's no big demand for him, and I think if anything else, we'll be seeing him on television shows or something like that.
And Lanny was getting paid.
Not lately, but he was for years and years. Yeah. Yeah, he did have one of the best jobs in wrestling, didn't he?
Yeah, him and Beefcake. I always was jealous.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, Al. Anybody left to go? Okay, Brian, what's up?
Yeah.
Hey guys, just up on the Torch website, and they got the list of guys that signed or that they bought the contracts. Would you like to hear the names?
Tell me the list.
Talk to me, baby.
Okay, they bought Storm's contract, O'Hare's, Awesome, Palumbo,
hold on,
Hancock, Helms,
Stacy Keibler, I knew, yeah.
Moore,
I knew.
Sanders,
Sanders,
Hugh Morris, Billy Kidman, Billy Skipper, Chavo Guerrero Jr., Here's sort of surprise. Stasiak.
No.
Yep.
Man.
No, I knew that one. I knew that one. Yeah.
Kaz, Yang, and Mark Hendrick.
Okay, but the thing on them all is that every one of these guys has 90-day cycles. So I think it was just that all these guys were low contracts. So it was just, you know what I mean? I don't know that it doesn't indicate that that all these guys are going to necessarily have jobs when this is all said and done. It's just sort of like the ones that, they're the ones that they would have interest in, and they can renegotiate with them. And also because basically when you look at that list, in almost every case, most of them are not used to making big money in wrestling. So they can renegotiate them for pretty low price, if you know what I mean. Cheap talent to fill out cards.
Yeah, and he also has there that there's only 4 guys that are under guaranteed contracts that they have any interest in at all. And that's Page, Flair, Goldberg, and Booker T.
I think that's correct, based on what I was told too. Yeah.